Today to kind of finally open this practice. I know a lot of you that have been part of the process have waited a long time, so I just thought it was right to say a few words. I've tried to summarise 5 years in about a couple of minutes, so forgive me for using the phone with some notes, but I'll just sort of run through a few bits. So thank you for coming, first of all. Thank you as well for supporting us all this time while we've obviously tried to get this thing underway. 5 years ago I guess, identified a site here, an old shop that we thought 12 months, knock it down, build a vet, open, done. Didn't turn out that way. Numerous kind of disputes over boundaries and architects and that sort of thing that we had some problems with, which meant that we had quite a delay on it. So I kind of had no idea the journey that we were going to go through, and at times it was pretty low, but we're here, and obviously that's a great thing. I just wanted at this point just to say, I know some of these people aren't here today, but it was important to me to say a big thank you to a few people. John Litton, who helped me an awful lot to try and work on our boundary disputes. One of our clients, a good client, John Edwards, who sadly couldn't be here today, but he helped me reignite the project when we thought we were going to have to put it to bed at one stage. Our architect, Gerald Moore, the third architect, I don't think he's here at the moment, but I wanted to say a big thank you to him, because it was probably without him that we couldn't sort of, as I say, redesign this and get it going, and I wouldn't have blamed him for not dealing with me after me pinning off 2 surveyors and architects before him. So he also introduced us to a building firm, Paul McBride's building firm, so again, a bit of a thank you to them. Also the council, unbelievably, the council were very pro the vets. I wanted it here the whole time, so it wasn't really down to any delay that they gave to us that meant that we had so many issues. Once we obviously got the permission to build it, it was always going to be a challenging thing with the stream on one side and a tight area at the front side here. I approached a chap again who unfortunately can't be here today, Norman Ray, who you'll see hopefully with the layout of the building. It flows really well, and a lot of thought's gone into that. It doesn't just happen, because every room needs to move into the next, as we call the client journey. So that's obviously important. My kind of vision for this surgery has always been for quite a long time to kind of revolutionise client experience of going into a vet. I kind of always felt that it's been quite stuck in its ways, quite dull, a little bit boring, and at a time when you're quite stressed coming in here, I just think it should be made a lot more welcoming and relaxing for clients. So I kind of worked really hard in trying to get that look right. We wanted to kind of have a mix of old and new, vintage and modern, so there's a lot of touches of heritage in here, because this practice as a company has been around for 40 years, so there's a lot of little touches of the older partners, the original founders, which we really wanted to retain in the practice. Taking that idea, I don't think they may be here yet, they're coming later, but there's a firm called V Group that I approached in Brighton, and they worked with me very hard to just get this right and put up with me being a fussy old devil, just trying to get all the detail right. So we have things like complimentary iPad use for clients, we have coffee machines, we have music, stereo systems. It's a bit fancy, but it's there for a purpose. We've got out the back the ability to play classical music for the cats and dogs while you're listening to Radio 2 in the waiting room. So every little thing's been thought through to try and just make your experience a warm and welcoming one, and one in which you feel happy to come back to again. At the end of the day though, any veterinary practice has to be functional, it has to work. Again, we've invested really heavily in up-to-date modern equipment, and I hope that you'll see that as you go through the building and go through that journey of a little bit of vintage, a little bit of nice stuff, but that's nothing unless we get out the back right, and more importantly, have the right people working. And I'm very blessed to have a really good team here, so I hope that will, that'll stand us in good stead. Back to just building, a lot of people had to put up with me over the last 6 months getting the detail right in this. So a few people again who can't be here today, Paul McBride and his team. Thanks to Darren, the site manager, who helped a lot. Special thanks to 2 electricians who are here today, Todd and John. So thanks very much for coming out and pulling out all the stops. Terry and Phil, the plumbers, as well. And also, just I know I'm not going to forget people, so I'm not going to name names, but I wanted to say huge thanks to all the team. People have put huge effort in behind the scenes to make sure today is right. And obviously, as I say, I'm not going to be able to get through them all, but they know who they are, they know how much they've helped, so thank you to all of those. Special thanks to Liz and Jenny, who have kind of been put in charge of coordinating a lot of the last few months, just making sure that, again, it's all set up, so thank you to those guys. And thanks to everyone who've run stalls today. It's a hot day, so just wanted to say thank you for turning up and doing a few bits. Just before we get to finally cutting the ribbon, I thought it was only right to say a few words about my long-suffering wife. 5 years she's had to put up with me trying to deal with this practice, and unfortunately, although a lot of you don't realise, Sarah is a vet and she sacrificed a lot of her time to bring up our 4 young daughters, and she's also had to put up with me whining on to her late into the night about various little things, like for instance, where shall I place that small little brick light. So I just wanted to say a special thank you to her, and obviously this has taken thousands of hours, literally thousands of hours to kind of get right from the very first kind of moment we bought it right through to now. Hopefully all the sacrifices are worthwhile, and hopefully we can get back to a little bit of family life, and she can have her husband back again. So thanks for that. Now, the most important bit, the ribbon cutting. We were hoping to have a celebrity here today. Jodie Kidd, she was booked. I chased her for 6 months and we were all scheduled. The day was all geared around her, but unfortunately last minute she had to cancel. So we decided that we would basically approach somebody, hopefully, who's far more fitting to open our practice and definitely more glamorous, my 9-year-old daughter Lily Rose. It's all, this practice is about community, it's about family as well, and obviously someone no more fitting than our own daughter to hopefully, and a future pet owner, to open the practice. So we'll ask her to do it in a minute. There's one more thing I should say in relation to Jodie. She did kindly generously donate a set of grandstand tickets to Ladies' Day for the Epsom Derby. They're on show in here. There's a raffle we're going to run, and I think it's going to be picked up about 4 o'clock. So all proceeds of that will be going to our charity ABC Sanctuary. So obviously, you know, have a go at that one. Very last thing, that there's someone who couldn't make it here today, who I know would have wanted to have been here, and I just wanted to basically dedicate this opening to him. It's Jenny's husband, Chris. He's always been a really special part of our practice, and I know he would have wanted to have been here today, but he couldn't make it. So I just wanted to say that today is for him as well. All right.